Hello, good morning. I'm Carolina Judkowolska, if we haven't met yet before, and I'm a certified alcohol-free life coach and the author of the book Euphoric, Ditch Alcohol and Gain a Happier, More Confident You. And every Wednesday morning I come on to answer questions from my students and clients on how to live their best alcohol-free lifestyle. And I have a great question today from a student in Become Euphoric, which is, not really thinking her friends are going to understand that she's decided to take a break from alcohol. And I think you might have been in those shoes before, because I certainly have been in that shoe before too. You know, we have these friendship circles and we have this lifestyle with them where we usually engage in maybe going out for drinks or splitting a bottle of wine, or having it be a constant present. Maybe there's winery trips. You know, a lot of friendships and circles of girls are actually really built, or ladies, sorry, are built around this kind of an activity, this kind of cultural thing. And so what happens when you take a break from alcohol and you just don't think that they're going to understand? You're worried that maybe they'll stop inviting you out to, drinks with them. You're worried that they will just not enjoy your presence as much, and that they'll think you're boring or lame, or that, you're just reminding them of what they don't want to be reminded of. So today we're going to go over that so you can have the mindset shifts to see it a little differently and to believe that your girlfriends actually understand a lot more deeply than you think, and that this actually could be a really cool opportunity to get a lot closer with them. So when we think that other people don't understand, it can often feel like alcohol is the only thing that affects us negatively, as if, not sleeping well, or feeling anxious or anxiety, or, not feeling literally physically well after drinking, or the negative cloud that we feel the next day. We believe that somehow that is a phenomenon that only happens to us, and that is just not true. Alcohol affects every human body the same, in the sense that it has negative consequences for everybody who drinks it. And now the thing is that some people are actually really good at dissociating from those negative effects, right? They feel tired, anxiety, they just don't even know it's the alcohol. They might even assume that's just what it feels like to get older. And so some people even, they could even drink way too much and wake up with a hangover and just laugh it off. Be like, whoop, I tied one on last night, Some people really shove it under a rug and really dissociate from it. And that's why I love to say that the women who choose to take a break from alcohol are actually the most intuitive women on the planet, because they are not able to just shove that under a rug. They take those signs and signals, they take the way that alcohol is not treating their body 100% correctly, and they use that as messages from their inner guide to change and to do something different and to try a break from alcohol, try the alcohol-free lifestyle. The signs, the symptoms, the feelings, the emotions, all of those things are signals from our body that are really helping show us what is right for our life and what is not right for our life. And everybody gets the negative consequences from drinking, right? Everybody feels tired the next day, because just one glass of wine will actually reduce your REM sleep cycles from around 5 to 6, which is normal and really restful, down to just 1 or 2. Everybody feels negative consequences from alcohol. The anxiety, the tiredness, feeling lethargic, maybe feeling unwell, feeling a little negative and low and mopey the next day. However, a lot of people are really good at dissociating from those effects and believing there's something else. So you are here because you are actually the most intuitive one. You are the most intuitive one who decided, this isn't sitting well with me and my life and my body. I want something better for myself. I want to take a break from alcohol. And so I share this because, oftentimes we assume, again, that we're the only ones going through what we're going through. We're the only ones who respond and don't like the way alcohol affects us. It's just not true. Everybody doesn't like it if they were really truly being honest with themselves. Nobody wakes up the next day after drinking saying, oh my God, I feel like $1,000,000, right? Even if physically they feel fine, mentally, alcohol distorts our chemical composition of our brains to literally make us feel sad and anxious the next day. It's just how the science of alcohol, it's just how it is. And so understanding that can give you a little bit of empathy and compassion to really regard other people as, you know what, they're feeling the same feelings I felt, but maybe they just don't have the intuition to articulate them yet. Maybe they don't have the trust in themselves, or the honesty, or the level of vulnerability to actually take those signs and signals and know that it's not serving them. Now, I love this statistic because it's just so important, and I'm pretty sure it's way higher than this today, but half of people, around 52% of Americans, have actually said they want to drink less or not at all, right? That is half the people in this country have said that they want to drink less or not at all. And I think that's counting all people, so that doesn't even count, or that's even counting people who already don't drink, right? So 52% of people who are out there want to drink less or not at all. That is insane. That means that upwards of 70% of drinkers want to drink less or not at all. You are not the only one who feels tired after alcohol. You're not the only one who feels negative the next day and a little mopey. You're not the only one who feels anxiety. You're not the only one who feels regret. You're not the only one who experiences any of those feelings. And the reason why people are looking to drink less or not at all is because they do not like the way that alcohol is showing up in their life. And so when you're armed with that data, when you're armed with that fact, you can start to look at the world a little bit differently. You can start to see that, yes, there are these patterns that we've fallen into. There's these grooves of socializing and dynamics that we have where we always go to happy hour, or we always go to this winery, or we always split a bottle of wine. But maybe my girlfriends actually don't like it as much as they think they do, or as much as I think that they do, right? And knowing that subconsciously, deep, deep down in our souls, we want something better for ourselves. We want something deeper. And so, one, you don't have to say anything about that, right? Like, that's just your understanding. That's just something for you to have in your back pocket to remember. Nobody likes the effects of alcohol. Nobody really enjoys how they feel the next day after drinking. Half people want to drink less or not at all. And so knowing that, you can actually look at yourself as like, wow, I'm the one who listened to that call. I'm the one who listened to my body to tell me that I need to take a break from alcohol and really heal and really restore and really rejuvenate and really take care of myself on a higher level. And some people just might not be ready yet to hear that message, and that's totally okay. But I want you to feel proud of yourself for the fact that you're taking a break from alcohol, not embarrassed, right? It is one of the most leadership things you could do. It literally makes you a leader and a role model and an inspirer in your friend group. So honestly, if I went to a party 6 years ago and I saw someone there not drinking, I would have been like, wait a minute, you're allowed to do that? I didn't even think you're allowed to do that. I thought one had to drink at these occasions. I always wanted to not drink because I didn't like how I felt the next day, even though I still wanted to drink, right? It was always this love-hate thing for me. And so give the benefit of the doubt that maybe some of your friends experience that love-hate thing too, right? Where you want to drink, you don't want to drink. You want to drink, you don't want to drink. You hate it, you love it. Because that's often really what's at the core of most drinkers' relationship with alcohol, is this love-hate thing. Most people don't have pure love for it. It's not just 100% happy. Maybe it was when we were 18 or 20. It's changed though. It's evolved into something different. There's always a love-hate element to it. Because how could you love waking up not feeling your best, right? How could you love feeling regretful or embarrassed or ashamed? Or how could you love, just feeling like you need something outside of yourself to cope and to relax all the time? It is a crutch, it is false, it is fake, it is not who you are, it is not your soul, right? Okay, so just knowing that one can just help you kind of breathe and be like, well, what if my friends actually were really inspired by me? What if my friends actually, when I told them, you know what, alcohol wasn't making me feel my best, or I'm not drinking right now and I actually feel amazing. Like my sleep is getting so deep. I just feel so much better. I feel like a lot more positive. What if they were like, wow, what if it was like the door that you opened to a little bit more vulnerability in your friendships? What if they're like, you know what, I wasn't feeling that great from drinking either. Like, that's really cool that you're doing that. What if they actually understood it a lot better than you think? And what if it actually got their own wheels turning to be like, I wonder what a break would do for me, right? And so these are just, again, mindset things. But what do you actually say when you're in the moment? When, you've been taking a break from alcohol, maybe people don't see each other as often as they used to, still because of the pandemic, and all of a sudden it's like 30 days, 60 days, and you're about to go to lunch with a girlfriend, and she totally thinks you're going to split a bottle of wine with her because that's what you've always done with her, right? What do you actually say in that moment? And so here are things that I've used, here are things that some of my clients have used to really kind of break the ice. So first of all, you always want to paint it in a good light. You always really want to lead with all the benefits you're experiencing. Because when you can share how much benefits you're experiencing, no one is going to say, hey, that's cool, but why don't you kind of do this so you can feel like crap again? Like, nobody really thinks that way to really put you down in that sense. So when you say like, yeah, I'm doing a health challenge, for example. So, some people feel really comfortable saying that because honestly, there's nothing you could do that's better for your health than taking a break from alcohol. So you can always say, I'm doing a health challenge and I've never felt better. My sleep is getting better. I have more energy in the mornings and it's just feeling really good for me. So I don't know how long this will last, but I'm just doing this right now. I hope you could understand that. Right? And then like that could open so many doors, right? That could be like, oh, that's so cool. Or, you know, so even if a friend's like, come on, like have a bottle of wine with me, like just be like, no, I'm really feeling great. I don't want to ruin it, right? So health challenge is one thing to say. You know, another thing to say is to say like, you know, alcohol is actually giving me headaches or it's just affecting me negatively. I'm taking a break right now and I've never felt better. I've literally never felt better. I'm happier than I've ever been. I'm doing new things. I'm learning about myself. It's really good. Do you mind if I just order a mocktail? And if you think that it's really nerve-wracking to actually have this conversation in person with your friend, you can always text them ahead of a time. You can always be like, you know, hey, like, I'd love to see you. I can't wait for our dinner date today. Just so you know, like, I'm taking a break from alcohol right now, so I'm going to drink mocktails. Hope that's cool. And I know it feels super awkward and weird to, like, announce that, you know, but sometimes people feel just a lot better to just get it out there. And so, you know, but the things that you say, lead always with the positive. You know, try to explain how much better you're feeling, how many more benefits you're experiencing. You can always say you're doing a health challenge or you're taking a break, or that you're just really inspired to see what happens if you just don't have alcohol in your life for a little bit. And, you know, and just kind of open the door to that. Like, it's so crazy, but I thought a lot of my friends would judge me. I thought a lot of them would be like, oh, well, like, we're not going to drink together now. And the second I started talking about it, the second they opened like their floodgates and started talking to me about their relationship with alcohol, honestly, like I said, you know, I'm taking a break, I'm feeling really great. And they were like, oh my gosh, like, you know, I get it totally. I wasn't feeling that great from alcohol either. Like, it just opens the door, another deeper layer to your friendship with your friends to be able to express the things that are true in your lives. And it is true that people experience negative effects from alcohol across the board. You never know how much your friends will actually relate to you. Because if you have similar drinking habits to them, or you guys drink together in a similar way, they're 99% chance they're experiencing the same feelings you had around alcohol. They're just maybe not articulating them yet. And you might help them get there. You might help them actually just say the things out loud. Doesn't mean they have to quit. Doesn't mean they have to take a break. But it's just nice to be able to talk about the freaking elephant in the room. It's not rosé all day with rosé tinted glasses. All that stuff makes us feel sick later. And if we never are able to talk about it, it can be really a disservice to our friendships. Another thing to remember too is that, you know, friendships are meant to evolve. You know, there was a time probably in our lives where we all had friends and we were all single. And being single and going out with them, maybe to clubs or bars, was like part of what you did as friends, right? And then you grow up and then people start to get married and one friend gets married and another friend gets married and you get married, but maybe some of them don't. And things kind of change in the dynamic of the friendships. But if it's a good, strong friendship, you guys continue on into this next phase of life together. And then maybe childhood comes up, right? Like maybe one of your friends has a child or you have a child, and all of a sudden that is a different dynamic that you have to grapple with. Your friendships are meant to evolve, and so seeing them really being able to evolve into something deeper than just having wine or going out for drinks can be a really beautiful thing to get excited for. And instead of, you know, really setting yourself up to feeling like the odd one out, or just like they're never going to understand if we always go out for drinks and I'm not drinking, first of all, you can always order a mocktail. And especially if there's like more than one of you, like if there's 3 or 4 girlfriends, it does not matter that you're drinking a mocktail. They do not care. They have their drinks and you're there like talking with them, having fun with them. What's in your glass does not matter. What's in your glass is just a beverage, right? Can you imagine if we put so much attention on our food? Like imagine if I went out with my girlfriends and she got chicken wings and I got a salad and all of a sudden she judged me. No, we don't do that. Like, we're allowed to eat whatever we want to eat, and we don't make anyone feel bad about their food choices. It's just part of our autonomy and what we're allowed to do on this planet. So why would we ever do that around what we're drinking, right? If you're going out with friends, you know, order a mocktail and like they won't even notice, honestly. They won't even care. It doesn't matter what's in your glass. And just be open to the same conversation. Be open to being there and being present with them and having a good time, and like they seriously won't even notice. Now, if you're going out with just one person and they really expected to share alcohol with you, you know, like that might be an occasion that you want to maybe let them know ahead of a time that you don't want to be drinking, or you're just taking a break, or you're doing a health challenge. Or maybe you could actually plan something different. Like instead of going to the same bar, the same restaurant you always go to, where you always get this bottle of wine together, why not ask your friend out for coffee? Why not ask her out for a hike? Really, she just wants to talk to you. And what is the case is usually we believe that alcohol is the only way we can really open up. And so it feels so fun to be able to split a bottle of wine with your girlfriend, because finally you guys can just jab and like really open up and talk about everything you want to talk about in your lives. But trust me, you can do that so much better and so much more deeper and more present when you do something like sit for a coffee together or go for a hike together. So maybe if there's like one friend that you're a little nervous about seeing again, actually invite her to do something different. Be like, hey, do you want to grab coffee? You know, I have plans this afternoon and this evening, but I'm free this morning. I think that'd be fun, right? Or do you want to go on a hike together? I've been exploring this one trail. I think it'd be really fun. Or whatever it is, you want to go to a yoga class, you know, shake it up a little bit. Same thing with your group of friends. You know, if you guys are so used to always going out for happy hour together or so used to going over to someone's house and just having wine, why not ask them to just do something a little different? Like, hey, do you guys all want to go on a hike or a walk or something like that together? And you might be delighted to see that people really love to open up in these other avenues, and it strengthens your friendships because now you have other things that you do. You know, you have other ways that you experience your friendship together other than just that one way over alcohol. So I went over kind of the mindset shift to remember that, one, you are not the only one who experiences alcohol the way we experience it. Like, most people who drink have a love-hate relationship with it because alcohol has negative effects on everybody who drinks it. It is physiologically like damaging to our body. It makes our body feel unwell the next day. It gives us a lot of anxiety. It gives us a lot of feeling of lowness and depression. It makes us feel unwell and makes us just feel so many things, and nobody can escape that, right? So your friends probably feel the negative effects of alcohol too, and it just hasn't been talked about. It's like the elephant in the room. So just remember that they might actually want to drink less or not at all. You might be the inspirer, you might be the role model. Two, you want to have something to say. So you want to just, like, you know, if you want to say I'm doing a health challenge or I'm just taking a break from alcohol, whatever it is, though, lead with a lot of positivity. Just lead with how much better you're feeling, how many benefits you're experiencing, like what you're learning about yourself, and just like be able to share that. And they will probably appreciate that you're growing yourself like that. Like, that's cool. You know, or maybe like, that's cool, I could never do that, and you could just talk to them about that, you know, and be like, well, I just really didn't like how it was affecting me, and they'll probably be nodding their heads like, oh, me too, yeah, I get that too, I feel that too, right? It also can be, again, like I said, an opening into like more vulnerability and more deepness in your friendships to be able to talk about things that were never talked about. And I have to say that once like alcohol was no longer the elephant in the room with my friends, we actually went even deeper than that. We started talking about our dreams. We started talking about our fears. We started talking about our deep, deep, deep visions for our life. And it was just a beautiful way that we reconnected and did try these other things. You know, we did different things together. We did good coffee dates. We did do hiking dates. We hung out at bars and restaurants. I just drank a mocktail. It really isn't a big deal. It's just a beverage and a glass. And if someone really, 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 really doesn't understand, and they're not up to going on a hike with you, and they don't want to get coffee for you, and they do not like the fact that you're taking a break from alcohol, I mean, you can start to kind of assess, like, do I really have nothing in common with this person other than just alcohol? And you can also ask yourself, like, do I actually admire their lifestyle? Do I admire their life and what they're bringing to the table? And if you don't really see them as a role model, if you don't really see them as a role model, or you don't really see them as someone that you really look up to, maybe they're not as close of a friend as you thought, and maybe they're just meant to be an acquaintance in your life, and you can shift and you can meet new people. You know, it's also a really great idea to meet new alcohol-free women out there, and I have other videos and other blogs and other guides within Become Euphoric on how to do that. So be sure to actually like go out there and try and meet new people too, so that you're always attracting high vibe women into your life who inspire you, who you can aspire to, and who live in this new growth-oriented world. And so that's the greatest thing I think about friendships, is that we are meant to grow together. You know, like I said, you could grow from singlehood to, you know, being married to having kids, and hopefully have friends that transition you through all those phases. Wouldn't it be beautiful how you have friends that grow with you from, you know, going out and drinking in your 20s like a party animal to this like refined, graceful, incredibly growth-oriented woman who goes after her dreams and says no thank you to a toxin? I think it's a beautiful thing. And so, you know, I think something that I love to instill in my clients is just to remember that if you could look at any situation from the perspective of something deeper, like your soul, And maybe the soul is a word that you don't relate to. So maybe it's your higher self or your inner wisdom. Choose a word, whatever word that makes sense for you. But if you could look at things from the perspective of your soul, the deepness of your soul, that knows that, you know, a beverage is not what defines you. A beverage is not what defines your friendships. You know, like there are so many ways to get closer to people. And it is not that people like you because of what you're drinking in a glass, right? And that if you set your sights on women who empower you, women who inspire you, women who you aspire to, you will find a network of people who lift you up and empower you and really, really support your healthiest and best selves. And if people don't support that, they're honestly probably just emotionally immature, and they probably have their own growth to do. And maybe they'll actually watch from the sidelines as you're doing all this personal growth and actually get a little jealous and then want to hop on the bandwagon as well. You never know what will happen, but give the benefit of the doubt to your friends. I really truly believe friends will come around and that they will love you and accept you, and if anything, be a little like jealous and inspired by you. Like, what if we twisted the tables to not feel like you're ruining everything, or you're the embarrassing one, or you're the one who's like shaking up the routine? What if it changes so much in such a good way that, you know, you're now the person they look up to the most in your friend circle? It's happened to so many of the clients I've worked with. They have been, just like I was, nervous about, you know, introducing this new change into their friendship circles. And all of a sudden, they become like the inspirer, the one who's answering questions from their friends, you know, helping them at a later date, and really inspiring growth. When you share growth with your friends, your friendships will never die. And so growth is the ability to evolve, to change, to grow outside of yourself, to learn, to really become a best version of yourself, both in health, both in body, mind, and spirit. And I just want to end this video on one note. I have an incredible client. She's my business client, so she's a new alcohol-free life coach. And she posted something so beautiful yesterday for Women's International Day that I just want to read it to you. I love this perspective, and I think it's just so amazing. But today, on International Women's Day, I want to talk about how we empower other women, not just ourselves. I was speaking to a client yesterday morning who has one belief about alcohol that she can't shake. She believes she needs to drink in order to be part of her girl gang. You know what the ultimate act of empowering another woman is? Allowing her to say no if she doesn't want to drink. It's giving her a high give and telling her you're proud of the decisions she has made for her health and for her family. Let's eliminate telling other women that they are boring if they don't want to drink. Let's normalize saying no to alcohol and saying yes to actually empowering our precious girlfriends. If we were all just a little more curious about our relationship with alcohol and supported each other in turning down drinks, together we can create a society where women don't have to feel pressure to drink a toxic, carcinogenic substance in order to fit in and feel part of the girl group. So I'm going to ask you to do something a little wild and crazy today. In honor of International Women's Day, I want you to tag someone that you maybe have given a hard time to about not drinking in the past. Maybe it was years ago, maybe it was recently. I want you to tag her and tell her you love her and that you'll support her the next time she orders a mocktail. Go on, be brave, let's show each other what true support and empowerment really means. Oh, I love this so much. And if you're just tuning in, I work with clients that for business. This is a new alcohol-free life coach I'm working with to really grow her business. And she just posted this yesterday on International Women's Day to just show women empowering women is the new thing, right? Women empowering women to go after their best lives, their most healthiest lives, their most spiritual lives, their most impactful lives, their most lives where they feel like they have a purpose and that they matter and that they make a difference. That's what matters, not a fucking fermented beverage in a glass. Excuse my language, but sometimes we have to just reconnect with what is most important and not be so stuck in the worries that we're going to lose the deepest, dearest people to in our lives just because we're not drinking a certain beverage. That is a lie that the alcohol industry has been telling us for years and for decades, and it's just not true. Your friendships can grow, your friendships can get better, your friendships can understand. So I hope this video was helpful. I hope the little spoken word I spoke at the end about Women's International Day from my client was really helpful. And I hope some of the little mindset shifts and some of the things you can say have been helpful as well. Remember, you can always invite a friend out to do something different and do something new with you. And you might be pleasantly surprised at how much they love you for who you are, not for what you drink. Give them the benefit of the doubt. It might take a little bit of a transition period, but just because you're not getting drunk with people doesn't mean that they don't ever want to be with you. And if they don't, it honestly means because that they're not comfortable getting drunk themselves, and that you are a mirror to their own behavior, and that makes them feel like they know they're doing something that isn't serving them either and isn't feel right for them either. And you might actually be the role model and the inspirer that they need, the leader that they need to also look in their own relationships with alcohol and make some changes. So I hope that inspired you. I hope that gave you some good tactics and shifts to be able to say in front of your friends, and just some ideas about how you can relate to them better and really understand them, so that you do not feel like the odd one out, the embarrassing one. You feel like really, truly you are standing in your power, you are empowering others, and you love people for who they are and where they are, and your friendships give you the same respect. Thank you.